We are going out of town the week that I would have ideally put my seedlings outside. And then there's the whole hardening off process and everything. So in my head, I'm trying to decide, do I keep them inside way longer than they really need to until we get back from our vacation so that I am home to do the hardening off process and then put them outside, which would be like at least an additional 2 weeks probably that I have them inside than they need to be? Or do I see what the weather does? And the week prior to going on vacation, do I start hardening off and get them planted before we leave town? That means the whole time we're gone, I'm holding my breath. I'm coming back home and hoping that all this hard work and all the dreams and prayers of these little seeds make it. So we'll see how March plays out, and then I'll just kind of look at things as April comes. Typically my motto is better safe than sorry, but given the fact that like this is the extent of what I have to grow things, if these get too big, I literally am not going to have the space for them. And in which case they may die. If I keep them inside, not under adequate light, they might suffer there too. So I think I'm just going to pay close attention and maybe ask around and look on YouTube and some other zone 8 or 7B. It depends on what site I look at. Some sites tell me I'm 8, some tell me I'm 7B. But I might just see what others are saying. So here they are. All right, quick little March update. Here's all the seeds. I started to have some algae growth on the tops of some of them, which I know can be perfectly like fine. But I did the cinnamon trick where you sprinkle cinnamon on the soil to get rid of the algae, and I literally did it last night, and it's the next morning, and I already see a huge difference, and I feel like it worked pretty well. I transplanted all my tomato seedlings into 6-cell trays about maybe 5 days ago now. They just had really long roots, and I knew that it was good to transplant them and plant the stems as far down into the soil as I could. So like this one is still fairly tall, but that stem is going all the way down. A lot of people, like a lot of videos that I was watching, people were packing their soil in before they put their seedling transplants in, but I was not getting the stem down far enough. So I actually, like in empty cells, put them down in and then put the soil back on top around them. I'm a novice at this, so I can't say that I recommend it, but it just did not make sense at all when I was doing it. They were just really tall still, and I felt like I wasn't giving them a whole lot more room packing the soil first. So all that to say, these are in here. I am going to note that so this, I got all of these from Amazon. These bottom trays, I purchased everything separately. So this is like one whole piece. That's 72 cells. And that little pepper plant is like the furthest from the light. He's not happy. They're not even the length of my thumb. But these, this is one piece. But then these, obviously, are the 6-cell. Neither of these fit super well on these bottom trays. I don't know what it is, but if you notice, part of the algae growth is, there's that little purple spray bottle over there. The plants on the edges are not as happy because they're not down in the water. Like, and look at these. Those onion seeds on the very back. Well, one, they are furthest from the light, but they're also drier. Their soil is drier. So I was getting algae growth in the middle because the plants in the middle were getting too much water. And then these over here on the edge were dying. So it really doesn't seem to matter what kind of tray I put in the watering tray. I mean, I still have roots. Things are still growing, but whatever's on the outside is just not very happy. So this is the 72-cell tray. Over here with the 6-cell tray, this is what I'm seeing. Like, it's a little bit too narrow. Like, this one is popped up. So when I water the tomatoes, this one's not going to get any water because it's too far up. But all this to say, I think that if and when I have a greenhouse, I won't actually maximize. See, this just stinks. I was going to say, like, take a row out, but then it's still not gonna fit lengthwise. I feel like I could really only fit about half as much in these trays. I think I just need to try another tray. They got really great reviews. If they were the right size, they would be splendid, but they're just not. They're just not. Everything on the edges is suffering. I saw someone trim some of their onion starts. I did that to some of them. We'll see how that goes. I have never grown onion from seed, so it seems really easy to just go to Home Depot and buy like onion plugs. But I wanted to try. I really wanted to try. I'm very happy so far with my tomatoes. I'm pulling the light back so we can kind of see the true color of the leaves. Now you see where I kind of sprinkled some cinnamon on some of these. Like, okay, these are the Martino's Roma. Some of the first leaves are starting to yellow. Little bit of yellowing like here. And once again, my layout on like where these were has changed. So that one could have been one that was on the edge prior to me putting them in these trays, not getting as much light and not getting as much water. I'm really not sure when I'm going to transplant my bell peppers, or if I'm going to transplant my bell peppers. I might just see how long they are happy here. But all that to say, they're looking good. And outside, as you can see, I have hydrangeas blooming and other things are blooming. I had beautiful tulip blooms yesterday. Maybe I'll insert a picture. I have my 3 older kids on my trellis tunnels pulling the oat grass and sunflower sprouts out of the manure that I brought over here. I have been digging holes. I've got 5 holes and they're about 8 inches apart. Our local nursery that I like to support has Pink Lady, and then I can't remember the pair to the Pink Lady apple trees, but we're gonna go there today and we're gonna get 5 apple trees. I'm just kind of pre-digging my holes so that way when we get back, I can get them in the ground and it's not too laborious of a task. I'm getting the hard work done now. But when I get back, I will put biotone down in there and make sure that that is good for apple trees. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but I'll just make sure. Do my homework before I start.
Mom, did this look enough that I could throw it over the fence?
Yep, whenever you get a handful, throw it over the fence. So today is St. Patrick's Day, and we're hanging out with green things. And that's how we're spending our day today. It's mid-March. This is the garlic, looking good. And some tulips, beautiful. Raised beds haven't changed, but we are next week getting a load of dirt. And I still have this that I need to spread, which is okay because I know exactly where it's going. I recently had a friend give me several, so you can't even see that, but give me several hydrangea bushes where you see some dirt mounds. There's hydrangeas planted. And then right here, this is just so lovely. This is all like different stuff mixed in here. Obviously, we have some gorgeous tulips though. I'm just loving, oh, hello ant. I'm loving that like fiery red color on those. There's lilies in the middle. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I can't even remember everything that went in here. But yeah, this is exciting. And I'm thinking, see, I have sunflowers coming back all up here, doing maybe some bigger bushes like Confederate roses. My neighbor has one and it's gorgeous. Or hydrangeas. Down there at the pool house, you might or might not be able to see, I have those 2 blue no, you can't see. There's 2 blue planters. I've planted stuff. The soil's not very happy. But under that little window is a window box. And those are blooming and budding. And my husband is maybe thinking of putting a growing room in there instead of a greenhouse right there. Quick little update out here. Tunnels are set up and there's lots of leaves everywhere, but in the I dug trenches out down here. This is all chicken manure or goat manure, and where you see green things, this is oat grass, and this is a sunflower, and that is part of what my animals eat. So I can see the squirrels have been helping themselves, but that's not what I'm trying to grow. But we will be coming in here soon and filling it the rest of the way, because you can see it kind of sinks in down there, and same thing here. There's a little bit of space left to fill, so we're gonna dump some good dirt in here. I tried to prune my climbing roses the other day. I have no idea if I did it right or wrong, but they're beautiful. And I did 100-pound test line fencing. I think we've talked about this. I need to get the apple trees in. And then I will show you some of my flowers. So, Shasta daisies, thick and beautiful as always. More Shasta, snapdragon, I believe. Ranunculus, peony. Look at that. Hello. Ranunculus, Shasta. This is a good one. Really good peony. More ranunculus, more Shasta. Catmint, I think. Peony, ranunculus, Shasta. So this is in front of the little fence line. And yes, I have a lot of weeds growing here. You can kind of see where I stopped the mulch, and that is because there was a lot of beautiful things planted down here, and I didn't know exactly where everything was, especially the peonies, and I didn't want to kill anything. So this does need another mulching. When everything is nice and up, I will come back through here and mulch more and weed more, but I didn't want to kill anything out just yet. As I'm walking over here to go check and see if we have buds coming out of these flower pots, we toyed with the idea of just doing a grow room and putting lights in our pump room in our pool house. Wasn't a bad idea, but just long term, it's not exactly what we're aiming for. We would always have to have lights and fans and all kinds of stuff in there. Nope, this is not looking good. We should have something by this point, and we don't. I did put new, okay, here's a little ranunculus. Something here and something here. Let's give these water. There's another one. Okay, so maybe they just need a little bit of love. The window box is doing great because I had it in a totally different spot and it got good rain. So we talked about in this room doing a grow room, and like with the lemon tree and stuff, lemon trees, we would just need to have something on them during the winter too. All that to say, we just feel like having a greenhouse, it can, for like the majority of it, be completely, you know, powerless and still exceptionally productive. And during the winter months, I can set some of the things like the lemon trees back there, and I know they'll be fine. So we're just gonna go with a greenhouse. A few days ago, I did quite a lot of planting. So I will show you some of the new additions. It came in groups of 3 and then a 4. But right here I have some baby hydrangeas. I planted 1, 2, 3. You can't really see them. But 3 new hydrangeas right here at the front. On this hillside. I got the spacing confused, and my dad helped me figure this out. So what I read is that they were supposed to be, the apple trees were supposed to be 3 to 8 feet apart, and they meant like the distance in between. So really I needed to double that. Anyways, all that to say, there's a pink lady, I forget the name of this, Dorset Gold. Yeah, that's it, Dorset Gold, which we already have leaves, and another pink lady. And the plan is, between the 2 trees, like on the top and on the bottom, it's gonna be a blueberry bush. So this will get filled out. And then I planted 3 lemon trees. Let's go see those. All right, these are improved Meyer lemon trees. And I love these blue pots. Like there's another one right there. And then between, or not between, beside our pool house doors, I have 2 pots right there. I need to go see if any of those flowers are blooming. But I found these Meyer lemon trees on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody had 3 of them in their original pots for $10 a piece. and like there's little buds on them and everything. So they're in these planters, and they will go in the pool house during the cold months. Okay, I'm coming up here to my last recent addition. I had lace cap hydrangeas right here, and on that fourth top tier we had really old like boxwood bushes, and we didn't like it, so we dug all of those up, gave the lace caps to some friend of ours that lives close by. We planted 4 white camellia bushes. There's one flower that's kind of fading. I had like the most gorgeous flower ever on one of these. I don't think I have any fresh blooms, but they are a beautiful flower. I'll insert the picture of one of these at the nursery. But that's what we've done recently. Okay, it's only March 20th, and I know I was like thinking I would just do an end of the month wrap up. But so much is changing that I feel like it would be too skippy. So for my own purposes, maybe I will be uploading a little bit more than once a month, or maybe I just need to be more concise. Maybe both. I don't know. So garlic is still doing so amazing. Tulips, gorgeous. We have some yellows coming to greet us now. Now, I'll be honest, I thought they was I'm getting tongue-tied. I thought these were gonna be taller than they are. They're still beautiful, but I don't feel like they're tall enough to put in a vase or give. Like, that is just like maybe the height of my thumb, and it's already opening, but they're beautiful, and I'm sure that every year they'll get better. So I have potatoes, and today I think is the day they will be planted. Okay, I am planting potatoes. I already planted that bed full. I was able to fit 16 in there, and these are organic russet potatoes from Whole Foods. I know they're not seed potatoes, but from what I understand, I could get these to grow. And no, I have not chitted these or waited for the eyes to sprout roots. I also know that they're not supposed to do very well in the heat. And some people say you really don't have to wait for the eyes to sprout. Now, this raised bed, I forget what the dimensions are. I could probably measure it. I think it's gonna be okay if not everything sprouts. And this is not me advising anything. This is an experiment. I didn't plan very well for potatoes this year, and I was like, oh yeah, I should really do that. And this would probably be the only type of bed that I could do it in. I need the really good soil for like the carrots, the onions, hopefully the cut flowers that I'm going to plant on the other 3 rows across from us here. So the 2 very leafy beds I have designated for potatoes this year. What I've done is I have my little bent tape measure because my kids got a hold of it, but I'm just kind of doing a foot from the edge on each side, and then I'll like stick a potato down and then just kind of do another foot, and then make sure I'm making my rows, and then I will nestle them all in. Let's line them up first. Okay, hello. I've got my potatoes laid out here. And oh, it's so sunny I can hardly see. Okay, so everything is a foot in from the edge. They're a foot apart from each other, and then you can see between these 2 rows how I started to put more potatoes kind of in the center point. Maybe this is like the whole I never really square foot gardened, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the idea of the square foot garden. This little guy is close to the edge, and you notice over here I did not put another one close to the edge. That's because we have this trellis here, and I plan on putting a little strip of dirt right there just to start some seeds so that they can climb up and over these trellises. At the present, I'm thinking cucamelons on these. I really hope my family likes them because I understand that they're prolific, and I think they look really cool. So my plan was to try cucamelons and maybe loofahs. I kind of need to see how much space we fill up on those trellises before I really decide what I'm doing over here. I might do pole beans down here potentially, but I'm just really not sure. I'm gonna wait to plant those 2 trellises until all of those up there have been filled in. But I wanna put one of these in the ground and okay, this is not an up above angle, but I wanted to put one of these in the ground and just kind of show you how far down my hand goes. Now under here we have delicious goat manure. Okay, this isn't nearly as far as some of the other ones went, but it's up to my wrist right here. So I'm gonna just take my potato and slip it in where my hand was, nestle that down, and cover it up with leaves. Same thing down here. Just kind of starting. Okay, oops, there you are. This is much better. So my hand goes all the way down here, and then like I'm gonna pick up a piece. Look at that. That is beautiful, soft, delicious dirt. And I'm just sticking my potato in. Since this dirt underneath is so soft, I'm just kind of pressing it in lightly without trying to damage the potato, so that it sits in the dirt nicely. And then you like literally can't even tell it was here. Everything's covered up. But when I start sticking my hand down in here, it's moist, but it's not like wet, and it's nice and cool. I'm really excited to try this. This is super easy, and from what I understand, if it works, harvesting is super easy, and I should just be able to like pull a vine up and get a whole cluster of potatoes without really digging a whole lot. But yeah, so it's March 20th. Planted 2 beds of potatoes. Let's see how they do and how long it takes them to come up without sprouting them first. Okay, I shared that I had potted up my bell pepper seedlings and my onion seeds. Like you can see, there's an empty cell here and then like a whole tray that's gone. So all in all, I lost about 7 bell pepper plants to that whole edge watering issue. But oh my word, they all look so happy today. And then there's my little jalapenos, if I have those labeled correctly, because at the very beginning I kind of had to go, I'm not quite sure where those were on the tray. But all that to say, everything looks super happy. It drank up all the water I gave it. There's like no moisture down there, but they're doing really well. And I have switched this up a little bit because my tomatoes were growing so tall. They need the light a little bit higher than these bell peppers did. So I changed this so that this light could be higher and this one could drop lower so that these get the light that they need. They're not as big as they could be. And I really waited. I mean, you could see the roots were like almost 2 feet long in that picture. But I'm super excited about these and how well these are doing. Now, these 2 right here, these 2 little 6-cell trays are cherry tomato, the sunrise bumblebee. They're shorter for sure, but and then we lost a couple, like these 2 right here died. But my Martino's Roma are looking really good, but my Paul Robesons are doing so amazing. So yep, everything's looking up. And then onions are still doing pretty well, so we'll just keep on keeping on. Oh yeah, check these out. Super excited. Got tulips blooming, and then these guys are about to show their happy little faces. Everything is looking beautiful. I have not seen the, I forget what it's called. It's like a white flower with light blue stripes on it. Planted quite a few of those in here. I haven't seen those bloom yet, but my goodness, this is about to be even more gorgeous than it is. All right, it is March 22nd. I've got little helpers here, but I couldn't resist. This little herb pyramid thing is really old. It's like 16 years old. My father-in-law built it and it's from him, and we've moved it to the 3 homes that we've owned. So looks like this is its final resting place, but I could not resist trying to plant in it this year. I did, let's see, basil on this row and that row. And then I did dill here and here. Then this is mint, and I left that alone. This is thyme, parsley, nasturtiums, and cilantro. So we'll see how these do. I really feel like with the amount of pickles that I do and how much I love basil, I might try to find a little nook and cranny in one of those raised beds to do more of that.